All right, I'm coming at you today with some videos about measuring different ingredients because it's a great skill and an important skill to learn in the kitchen, especially when you're baking, to have very precise and accurate measurements. So we're going to be looking first at how to measure dry ingredients, and we're going to be looking at flour, sugar, and brown sugar. And the reason that I'm going to measure all three of those is because they are all measured very differently, and there's different pieces of information you need to know about each one. So I am eventually going to be making chocolate chip cookies, so I am going to use some of the measurements from that recipe. So I'm going to start off with flour. So with flour, you need your dry measuring cup set. So a standard set has a quarter cup, half cup, a third of a cup, and 1 cup in it. You may have a set at home that has more, but basically you have these 4. So a quarter, a third, a half, and 1 cup. So my recipe calls for 2 1/4 cups flour. I'm just going to show you how to measure 1 cup of flour right now, and then I'll measure the rest when I get to the demo later. But the thing about flour is if you keep it in a canister, if you keep it in the bag, whatever, the first thing you want to do before you measure is actually stir it around. So my canister actually comes with a spoon, and I just filled this up so it is kind of full. But you want to keep your flour nice and light and fluffy. You don't want to like pack it down. So when you're measuring flour, you never just want to scoop straight from the canister or the container that it's in. You want to kind of stir it around a little bit. I'm going to get a bowl to measure over. You also are going to need a flat edge for a leveler. So I'm just going to spoon this in, keeping it again nice and light and fluffy. You can keep stirring it as you go. Again, you never want to pack it down. You don't want to shake it off. You just want to keep filling it up. And this is what my separate bowl here is for, so if I overfill. So once you have it full, you're just going to take your leveler. Again, don't pack it down. You can go over it a couple times just to fill in any creases. But you have your 1 cup. So that is how you measure flour. So I'm just putting it in my bowl over there. And like I said, I'll measure the rest of it later. So again, with flour, you want to stir it around first, get it nice, light, and fluffy, spoon it in to your measuring container, and then take a leveler and level it off. So that one is flour. Next, I'm going to measure sugar. Alright, so I'm back for the sugar. So unlike the flour, it's a different consistency, different weight, so you can just scoop straight from the canister. So I have my canister of sugar here. My recipe calls for 3/4 cup, so you can either use the 1/4 cup 3 times, or you can use 1/2 cup and then 1/4 cup. So I have my 1/4 cup here, and just like I said, I'm just going to scoop it straight from the canister. And then level it off. I'm just going to level off so I'm not wasting any. And then you have your sugar. I'll put it in my mixing bowl. So again, you would do that either 3 times, or then you just use 1/2 cup to get 3/4 of a cup, or whatever you have to measure. Alright, so next, brown sugar. So to recap, flour, you're going to stir it first, scoop it with a spoon into your measuring cup, level it off. With sugar, you can just scoop from the container, the canister, whatever it's in, the bag, scoop it from your measuring cup, level it off. And then brown sugar is slightly different. I always think of brown sugar like if you're at the beach building a sandcastle, you're going to pack it in. So usually a recipe would call for like 3/4 cup packed brown sugar. So what you're going to do, wherever you have your brown sugar, I just poured it in a bowl so it was a little bit easier. You're just going to scoop it in. So my recipe calls for 3/4 cup brown sugar also. So you're going to scoop it in, and then you're going to pack it down. And again, you want to overfill, that way you can level off so you know that you had enough. So take your straight edge, level off. If it's packed down enough, whenever you pour it into your bowl, it should keep the shape of the measuring cup, and that's how you know you did a good job. So there you can see it's still that shape. So that's how you measure brown sugar. All right, so that is how to measure 3 different kinds of dry measuring ingredients, dry ingredients, with your dry measuring cups.